You've probably seen the headlines about the teacher shortage in America, right? Empty classrooms, educators totally burned out. It definitely feels like a full-blown crisis. But what if the story we're all hearing is just the tip of the iceberg? What if the real reasons behind it are way deeper, more complicated, and tied to something that's happening in all of our heads? Let's get into it. So we're gonna kick things off with this pretty provocative statement from a former teacher. It's a bold claim, and it immediately makes you think, right? It shifts the blame. Now, is this the whole story? No, not at all. But it is the perfect way to start peeling back the layers of a problem that is so much more than just numbers in a classroom. Okay, so before we can even begin to unpack the why, we gotta get a handle on the what. And the what, at least at first glance, is a numbers problem on a massive scale. Let's just look at the hard data for a second. What is this huge number? Well, that is the minimum number of teaching jobs across the US that are either totally empty or filled by someone who isn't actually fully certified to do the job. Just let that sink in for a moment. We're talking about almost 500,000 classrooms without a fully qualified teacher. It's just a staggering figure. So, to put that another way, it means that about 1 out of every 8 teaching positions in the entire country isn't filled by a properly certified professional. And this isn't just happening in a few random districts here and there. Nope, this is a nationwide gap in our education system. And here's the thing, the problem isn't spread out evenly. These shortages are hitting the hardest in some of the most critical subjects you can think of, the stuff that's absolutely essential for learning and for our future. We're talking 45 states short on special ed teachers, 41 short on science teachers, and 40 states short on math teachers. But, numbers are just numbers. They don't tell the whole story. To really get what's going on, we need to look at the day-to-day reality for the teachers who are actually still in the classroom. Let's take a look at what they're really up against. Just look at this. The difference is, wow, 62% of teachers say they frequently deal with job-related stress. Compare that to other working professionals, only 33%. That is nearly double the rate. For most educators, this isn't just a tough job, it's a source of constant, crushing pressure. So where's all that stress coming from? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is student behavior. A whopping 72% of educators, that's almost 3/4 of them, say that student misbehavior is worse or even a lot worse than it was before the pandemic. And this isn't just a gut feeling, it's what they are seeing every single day. And the problem goes even deeper than that. It seems like these behavioral issues are coming from a gap in some really basic skills. A stunning 95% of primary teachers say their students' ability to self-regulate, to manage their emotions and interact with others, is way behind where it used to be. The pandemic didn't just mess with academic learning, it really disrupted social learning too. And this quote from a high school teacher, it just captures that feeling of desperation perfectly. It's not just about trying to manage a noisy classroom. For a lot of them, it feels like a fundamental breakdown of respect, and it's leading to this feeling of complete and utter exhaustion. So, on one hand, we have stressed out teachers and really challenging student behavior. But that's not all. On top of everything that's happening inside the school, teachers are now facing a whole new set of pressures coming from the outside. You hear teachers talking about feeling like they're caught in a vice, and you can see why. From the top down, you've got these new political rules, these so-called parental rights laws that just pile on more bureaucracy. And then from the bottom up, there's this growing sense that parental support is disappearing and that there's no accountability for students. And this just gives you a taste of how absurd the bureaucratic side of this can get. In Florida, for example, new laws have led to schools requiring permission slips for things that used to be totally normal. Things like getting a Band-Aid, watching the Disney movie Tangled, or even participating in Black History Month. Can you imagine the mountain of paperwork that creates? A former teacher used this incredibly powerful metaphor, a straitjacket. It just perfectly captures that feeling of being a professional expert who's had their hands tied. They know what their students need, but they just don't have the freedom or the control to give it to them. And that is immensely frustrating.